Hello, hello, hello. Hi everybody. Welcome to my channel. My name is Bree. This is my first ever makeup video, so I'm kind of nervous, but I'm really excited too. I have never filmed myself doing makeup before. I have never talked while I've done my makeup before, so this is very new to me. I will be just doing a basic look. This is my go-to look for whenever I'm going out or if I'm just going somewhere. This is the look that I go for. I don't do anything really glam, but it is super cute and it's really easy in my opinion. So if you want to learn how to do a full face with lashes and liner, then continue watching. So before I start, I always exfoliate and moisturize just if I'm doing a full face so my makeup applies smoother, and I put my hair back, and obviously that is optional. So to begin, I always start with my brows. I don't prime before I do my brows just because it's harder for me to apply the creamy product before I do if I have primer on. I use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Pomade in the shade Blonde, and I'm going to use my Tarte eyebrow brush. I actually got it with the Tarte brow product as well, but it just wasn't my favorite. However, I love Tarte, so no shade. I'm just going to start a line from the beginning of my brow at the bottom to where I want my brow to stop. I'm probably a little awkward because I'm not used to using a handheld mirror when I'm doing my makeup. I'm usually using my vanity mirror. I've already got product on my finger. Go figure. And then I'm going to start a line at the top of my brow, not at the beginning, just kind of like right there to the end of my brow, and we're going to shape our brows. And then just fill in. And then for the beginning of my brow, I don't want my brow to look blocky. That's just not the look that I like. So I am just going to take my brush without any new product on it, and I'm just going to brush up. Okay, and then I will use my Essence Lash and Brow Clear Gel Mascara and just brush my hairs where I want them to stay. And I am going to do my other brow. Okay, so now that our brows are done, I'm going to go ahead and start on my actual eyelids. I will actually be putting down some primer. I don't use eye primer. I just prime my eyes with the Smashbox Smooth and Blur Primer. It helps with my eyes creasing. I do have really hooded eyes, so it will help with that. Okay, and then for concealer, I use the Too Faced Born This Way concealer in the shade Swan. Just put a little bit, dab, dab, dab. And then I will use my Wet n Wild concealer brush that I actually just got, and I love it. I bought it at Five Below for 99 cents, which is absolutely amazing. We're just going to carve out our brows, kind of clean them up. And then I bring my concealer all the way down to my lid. Okay, so I forgot that I need to set my eyes before I start my liner. So I will set my eyes with the Cover FX setting powder. And then just kind of brush it out. Okay, now I can start my liner. So, like I said before, place your tape where you want your liner to go. I already have a little bit of a line, as you can tell, because I forgot to set my set my eyes. Okay, so tape is back on. And Tarte Sex Kitten liner. If it looks bad, or if you mess up, you can always use a Q-tip to clean it up, and your lashes will cover the top of your lid anyway, so it doesn't have to be perfect. My makeup never turns out perfect, so I'm gonna let that dry, and then I'm gonna take off the tape. And I am gonna be cleaning that up a little bit with my Q-tip. Okay, so I now have eyeliner on both of my eyes. This is more of a dramatic wing than I usually go for. That's okay, I don't mind the dramatic wing. So then I will apply my lashes. I usually use the Bepholan, I think they're called the Natural Mink lashes. I'm not sure. I'll list all of my products down below so I do not mess anything up, or if I forget to say something, you will have the list. So this is the lash. They are more of the full lashes. That's the kind of look that I love. They're absolutely beautiful, especially when on. So, and I do not apply mascara before I put on my lashes. I just find it's harder for me to place the lashes where I want them to go if I have thicker lashes on. So, I'm using the Ardell Lash Glue, and you just want to make a very thin line of glue on the lash line. Okay, so I'm just going to let this dry for about 30 seconds. You do not want to apply your lashes while the glue is really wet because it won't stick to your eye. It'll just smudge your eyeliner. So don't do that. just place them where you want them to go and try to get as close as to your lash line as you can. We're just gonna let that dry for a second. Okay, so once my lashes are applied and dried, I am just gonna go in with my Tarte Lights Camera Lashes mascara, and I'm just gonna take the tip of the brush and I'm just going to apply it to my natural lashes, just to blend them in with my fake lashes. I cannot talk today. I don't know if I mentioned it before, but I do not apply mascara before lashes just because it's harder for me to place my lashes where I want them to be with my mascara already on my lashes. Okay, so to prime my face, I am going to use the Bobbi Brown face base for my T-zone, just to kind of fill in my pores. That's where all my larger pores sit. And this stuff smells so good, y'all. It's like lemony, like really citrusy. Maybe under my eyes a little bit. Okay, and so for the rest of my face, I'm actually going to use my Catrice Prime and Fine. This stuff is amazing. I prime my face with this, and I also set my face with this. So just let that dry. My huge hands are just in the camera. Okay, so once that dries, I take my concealer and I just kind of dab on some product onto my blemishes that I don't want showing. And I have redness on my face, and I have yet to find like a color corrector that actually works with my skin. So if anybody has any green color correcting products that they want to recommend, please do. I have combination skin, and in the winter I usually have drier skin. So my face is breaking out like crazy, y'all. Stress and hormones. Just a girl's best friend. And let's just go ahead and carve out the rest of my brows too. I'm going to use my same concealer brush if I can find it. I cannot find it, so I'm just going to use this crappy little brush that I got out of I think it was Wish brush set like 3 or 4 years ago. Make sure there's no excess product on it. And for my brows, I'm going to just carve them out. And then I am just going to blend and dab with my Jeffree Star Beauty Blender the rest of my concealed spots. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with my foundation. I use the Tarte Face Tape in the shade Fair Light Neutral. Just squirt a little bit on my hand, and I don't use a beauty blender to apply my foundation because I found for me it just doesn't work. I have to use my foundation brush, which this is the foundation brush by It for Ulta. I just kind of dab it on my skin, and I'll blend it out in a second. I don't really go underneath my eyes much with my foundation just because I will be going in with some concealer. You want to blend up to your ear, down your neck a little bit, just to kind of match. Up to your hairline, but be careful going around your brows. Okay, so now for more concealer. I'm gonna go back in with my Too Faced. Apply some underneath my eyes, a little bit on my nose, a little bit on my chin. And if there's any more blemishes that I can see through my foundation still, I'll just go over them as well. And then a little bit on my forehead. I'm going to go ahead and get my setting powder ready so I do not crease. I'm going to use some of the Cover FX setting powder, and I'm going to mix it with my Hourglass setting powder. I'm not sure why, I just love it. Okay, so before I apply some setting powder, I am going to blend everything out. Okay, so I have blended my concealer out, and I'm just gonna take my little beauty blender and I'm gonna dab it into some setting powder and put some under my eyes before it creases. I found with like any product I use, underneath my eyes always creases, so I have to set it really, really quickly. Some pores, let me tell you. Okay, and then I'm just going to use a little brush that I got off of Amazon and just brush it out. I'm also going to dip this into the setting powder as well and then set the rest of my face. The good thing about this Hourglass setting powder is that it just goes on so silky smooth, and the Cover FX is just like thicker. So I think they kind of balance each other out, and that's why I like mixing them together. Okay, so after I do that, I'm gonna just go ahead and set my face with the Catrice Prime and Fine. Let that dry. Go ahead and get my bronzer out. I do not usually use cream contour, but I am going to bronze my face. I have the Tarte Park Ave Princess, and for me, I'm really pale, as you can see, so I just kind of needed something lighter and also with grayer undertones so my face doesn't look as muddy or gross. So this is what that looks like. I absolutely love this stuff. Tarte is my favorite brand ever. I love Tarte. Tarte's my favorite. I don't know how many times I can say that because it's so true. I actually went to an event not too long ago at Ulta where they were having some Tarte makeup artists come in, and it was actually really fun, and I loved the girl who I was talking with. Okay, so I'm going to take my Tarte bronzer brush. I'm just going to pat it down where I want it to go, and then I'm going to blend out with a separate brush. This brush just doesn't blend well enough for me. Okay, so I'm going to go in with my Mary Kay brush. I'm not sure what it's called. It just says Mary Kay. And kind of blend it out. You want to bring it down to your cheeks a little bit too, so you don't really have like that line, that dark line that the bronzer can give you. I don't usually contour my nose or bronze my nose, so I am going to leave it how it is. What's next? I'm going to set my face again. I always set my face after I apply bronzer and before I apply highlighter. It just kind of like helps it blend easier in my opinion. Y'all, I use a lot of setting spray. I go through this stuff like crazy. Let it dry, let it dry. Clean up my little mess a little bit. I am gonna go in with just like a little brown shade underneath my eye so it doesn't look as flat, I guess. Let's see what palette. I just use my Jawbreaker palette. Okay, so Jawbreaker, I'm gonna go in with the shade Tasty and maybe a little bit of Delicious if I'm feeling it. I'm not sure though, yet. I'm just gonna take a small brush because I'm not gonna apply much. I just don't want my eyes looking super flat, and I also don't use mascara on my bottom lashes because I don't like the way it makes my lashes look. They're super long and look like spiders on my face, and I absolutely hate it. So I do not apply mascara down there. Let's see. My neighbors just really picked the best time to mow. Okay, I'll just go in with my Eco Tools brush. It's just a two-sided brush. I will use the flatter side. Get a little bit of Tasty on there, not See, that already looks so much better. It's just like I didn't forget about my bottom eye. It just kind of brought a little bit more life to it. Not that these lashes don't bring enough life to my eyes, because they do. Okay, yeah, I think that's good. I'm not going to apply any more. Maybe I'll just blend it out a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to apply a little bit of blush. I don't always use blush just because my face is already naturally red and I hate that. But this is more of a pink. Okay, like I said, not too much, just enough to bring color back. I'm going to kind of just okay, and now for highlighter. And I don't usually use an actual highlighter. I love all of Jeffree Star's palettes, and he always comes through with the shimmer shades. So I usually just pick up a Jeffree Star palette and pick out one of the shades. This one, I'm going to use Jawbreaker. It's super, super pretty and super shiny. Excuse my messy palette. There it is right there. First, I'm going to highlight my eyes. If I can find a brush. Here we go. I'm going to use just this little Morphe brush that I got in the Pride brush set. And then underneath my brow bone. And I'm going to use my Wet n Wild face highlighter brush for my cheeks and my nose. This time I am going to spray with my Tarte Stay Spray. Like I said, I love Tarte, y'all. I can't get enough of them. Let it dry. Okay, so since I happen to actually like the shade of my lips usually, and I don't exactly love how lipstick looks on me all the time, I'm just gonna use my Too Faced Lip Injection Extreme Lip Plumper. I love this stuff. and then I'm also going to highlight my, whatever that's called, I forgot. My top lid. Okay. Gonna just spray again, because why not? And I'll be right back. Okay guys, here is my finished look. I tried to make this video as fast as possible. Honestly, usually my full face takes me like an hour to an hour and a half, just depending on how sluggish I am. So yeah, I hope that you enjoyed watching my video. I hope that you continue to watch my videos as I continue to post. If you have any recommendations on what kind of videos that you would want me to do, please let me know. Like, subscribe, and bye guys.